So now I want to share Ethereum. I was going through the Ethereum charts today, and I realized I haven't done a charting channel or a channel chart for Ethereum. So I think what I'll do is I'll do the channel charting, and then along the way while I'm doing that, I look to do the trading chart. So does everybody understand the difference between setting up the channels chart, which shows all the significant channels, but then the trading chart gets more specific about mapping out the trend. So there's a bear trend, so there's a big channel on the way down, or a bull trend on the way up. At the moment, I've two charts with XRP. Actually three. I have the bear one that has come down. I've done one specifically for the transition, and then I've established the bull one, and that you'll see me shift in more and more into the bull one in the coming days. Just the thing about tonight is it's quite possible that price action is going to drop. It might do it in one go. Looks like Ethereum has about 10% more to drop before it bottoms out. Same with BTC. And with XRP, that normally means 50 and 20%. So XRP could be dropping as well. So if that starts to happen, I'm going to shift my attention over to that. And if you're in trades, you need to shift your attention over to it as well. But for now, let's share a screen and crack on with the. There we go. So everybody can see my mouse going from side to side. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now, just a quick look. Here is the 15-minute, and again you can see it's coming down here. I reckon it's probably going to come down. When I said 10%, it was up here. I reckon it's still going to come down to about 3.4, 3.6, 3.6. There's 3.6. It may come down. To about 3. There, about there. I think it's going to come down to about 3.450 or so, I believe. So if you look at the move here, let's turn it up. So again, is potentially that's the W of it. Here's the scoops. So again, of the Elliott wave is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somewhere in that general direction. But you can see now that that looks like the first proper scoop. So it's on its way. It's on its way. The scoops could be, again, it might decide to move faster, and then the scoops just become single candles going up and down, and it just drops to that bottom. It may do that. I'm really just looking at I'm looking at the MAs, and it could just continually just keep finding its way down, but the MAs are also promising that it could also just drop. But I think that's the nature of. I think it's the nature of where it is. If you were looking at the MAs, to be honest, it looks like it could go down a lot lower, a lot further than this. But I think that's just part of the nature of where we are in the pattern. Is the MAs are really, and especially the higher the dailies, the 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, the MAs there are looking super bearish. But I think that's part of the nature of where we are in the pattern. Is it looks super bearish. It allows it to push that force slowly down, and it'll reach a bottom, and then it'll just turn around, it'll flick, we'll get a pump, and all those MAs that were looking super bearish turn pretty easily. I believe. So yeah. So there's the 15 coming down for final bounce. Here is the. Here is that the same? I get these mixed up. No, they're different. Okay. Yes. So there's the 15. Here is the hour. Again, it seems to be coming down for final bounce as well. So there's a confluence there. Now you can see on this one, it coming down to 3,450 or so. It's still within this price range here. Where here, there's that spike down there, yeah. So it looks like final bounce come a little lower than first drop here and third spike. And then on the 4 hour, again back to confluences again, it looks like it's coming down. There's third drop. It looks like it's coming down for final bounce as well. So if I put these together, you'll see it. So if I just put this in here like this, so there's the 4 hour. Here's the hour. And then there's the 15 minute. So they're all coming down for their final bounce, so to speak. And
hey Roy, I don't know if this is relevant.
Yeah.
But I drew a fib from swing load on September 21st. There's like a big spike there to an all-time high November 10th, and seems that the golden pocket is right there at that area where you're talking about, that 3497, 3426. Makes sense.
Very good. So you went from here, was it? Down?
I went from September 21st.
September 21st.
Yeah. That spike there where you have your A.
Yes, yeah.
All the way up to.
Oh, in which
high.
On which now? All the way to here.
Yeah.
Is that it there?
Sorry, I did it the
other way around.
I apologize. Swing high to swing low.
Yeah, no problem.
And there was
I get that myself also.
Golden pocket there.
Sweet. Yes, I think you nailed it there. There we go. 349.
I had it there since, I don't know, 2 weeks ago when we saw that big spike. And if you see that spike literally kiss that golden pocket there.
Yeah.
On December 3rd.
Yeah.
I'm on the 1 hour.
Hang on one sec. Somebody needs to, as a snow monkey. Hey, snow monkey. Snow monkey, can you mute your mic unless you're going to chat? So.
Okay.
Thank you. And then sure, when you want to chat, just anytime, just there you go. Yeah, super. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, you're still there. There we go. And Snow Monkey, anytime you have a question, feel free to ask. And welcome. I know you're new, so I don't know your experience. So what I'll be doing is I'll do a beginner session. I've got 2 more sessions before the New Year's. So I'll do a beginner session either on New Year's. Is New Year's Eve Friday? I'll do a beginner session tomorrow, Snow Monkey. And I'll do a beginner session and we'll get you going, yeah? And it'll be a nice review for some of the others as well. Okay, all right, super duper. So, Trailer, was that you?
That was
Who?
he that brought up this whole
Polanco.
that
Polanco.
went
Hey,
up
Polanco.
this,
Well, let me pull it back up and continue, Polanco. Yes. So 2 weeks ago.
yeah. So 2 weeks ago, when or a couple weeks ago, when we saw that spike, that death spike on December 4th, I kind of starting this out to see where it could potentially go. I've been seeing this, and I'm like, man, eventually this arc's got to come down to these levels. It has to.
Yep.
So I've been kind of watching it. So it's been sitting on my charts for a while.
Very good. Very good. Fascinating. Yeah. Great call, Polanco. Great call. Yeah. So yeah. So you can see the confluence. So now, what does this mean? Is for the 15-minute, again you get we're going to get an Elliott wave coming up here, and it should be pretty decent one. And the reason being is this is the C of a big ABC correction on the daily and the weekly. So now, if I'm getting this right, which I believe I am, this is 1, this is 2, and this is the 3 of the breakout of the next bull channel for ETH. So again, it'll be a breakout for the 15, then there'll be the breakout for the hour. It's quite possible that in this space that it will pump, you get a retrace, and then you get the breakout, because it'll be the first initial push, a little retrace, and then out we go, and then we're into new space. We got a breakout of the 4 hour as well. So that's and then it's all about the bull channel. Now I've put this in because, again, here's the breakout of the 4 hour. Is with this, how did I come up with this? How did I come up with this? Okay, so here's the daily. How I come up with the daily one was just stick a fib on it. There to there. So this is the previous arc, and I'm going to the 2272 rather than the 618, because again, there's going to be a parabolic element to this. There's going to be a lot of energy to it. The impulse is going to be strong. So it's looking at this one is ETH getting up to about $9 or 9,239, and listen, it could be more than that as well. It could be more than that as well. Is it can do its retrace? I think it'll do its retrace after that, and we're going to have another run of it later on next year as well. I don't think this is the end of it at all. It's quite possible that we'll have this one, and there could be another 2 of these before we actually top out. So we could get one of these starting off springtime, summertime, and then another one kicking in later on the year and getting another run. So I think there's at least two more daily arcs after this one before ETH finally tops out, somewhere in either late 22 or in early 23, maybe springtime, summertime 23. So that's this one, and I did the same thing for this one here. So here's the previous Elliott wave, which is also the most recent present 4 hour. Put a pump on it, and it looks like we're heading for 7,700 or so. Now again, this one came up short. To be honest, this one came up short. This one came up as a 414. So if this one doesn't hit 772, it may come to the 618 and do a 6-3. I don't think it will. I honestly think it's going to come. It's going to come here. Yeah. Now, partly why I believe that. Just let me show you for a sec. When we put this one on here, Look, this one was underwhelming. Didn't meet people's expectations. It only did a 414. Why? I think why is because look, here's the Elliott wave is 1, 2. Here's the initial pump of 3. Now we're going into a deep W. So that deep W is why I think it retraced so much. It's that retrace within the tree before the scooping comes in, and you start to get these big scooping motions. So I think that's why that was underwhelming here. Is it caught people off guard. I think people are expecting, yeah, this is going to keep going, this is going to keep going, and we're getting a retrace. So now here we're going to get that pump that I think people were expecting of ETH. So there we go. So that's that's generally where I believe it's going. Yeah. So now we're looking at doing a chart channel, charting out the bull channel. So now I will be looking at look at all these trend lines here. Look at all these trend lines here. Just to give you an example, I'll be looking at where lines like this. I'll be looking at. I just threw that in, but just to give you an example, I'll be looking at where's the trend lines that are going to help me map out this bull channel, but also this arc. Where are the key points that are going to touch on this arc? This local one here. See all this? All this local one here is this somewhere in here. There is a line, a center line, that is already predicting the top. That center line already exists. We just got to find where that puppy is. So there's a bit of trial and error, there's a bit of testing. And somewhere in here, there is a line that we're going to put in, and it will actually be the top. And again, obviously we won't know until it gets there, but we can be putting our lines in, and then we can follow up the price action, and we can start to see it test the lines that we put in. And if it breaks one, we go to the next one. Breaks that, we go to the next one. Okay, and equally, we will be following the Elliott wave up. So we'll see the scooping, we'll see the 3, the 4, and then the 5. So by the time we're hitting the top here, we should have a pretty good idea what it is before we get there. Okay. So anyway, so that's the 4 hour. Oh, sorry, that's the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 15 minute. So now I'm starting to get myself organized with ETH. So I'm going to start to post these regularly and keep them up to date. I have my moving averages chart set up. So again, I hope you have your chart set up if you're an ETH trader. I will post all these afterwards is with links, so you can post them, have a look at them, check your own off them. Let's make sure we're all in sync. And again, if you see discrepancies on my charts, let me know. I see discrepancies in your charts, I'll let you know. And we make sure between us all that we're getting it right. Now, what's this one? Oh, this is just a chart where I chart Elliott waves, so we can. And then this one is the divergence chart. So now look at what's happening here. Do you see this bottom line here? All the way down at 1693. Always find this fascinating. Down at 1693. Look, there's a touch point. A touch point that has just confirmed this line. So this is only relevant since this point. And again, look at this coming down. Coming down to 3667. Probably have a little bit of a spike through. Okay. So you can see the divergence chart, yeah? It's always great to throw your eye over this. And this one here, again, this is going to spike down, and when you see it break through, again, now you have your divergence, price action is beginning to go up. So a trading position to go into is when you see it breaking up, breaks this, there's your opportunity to go in a trade. And you're in nice and low, so you're in nice and low. You're in nice and low here. Remember we talked about trading positions? Hits the bottom, put your long in, pull your stop loss down. Put your long in, pull your stop loss down, so that when price action starts going up here, rather than looking for a trade entry at the breakout, you've actually got it down here. So one, you're making profit. Two, when there's a bit of drama about trying to get confirmation, you got your confirmation down here. So you're well away from the bit of price action drama that will go on here while it's breaking out. And look, breaking out, and you're already in profit, and then you sit on it. And generally, just a general rule is on the hourly, I'm going to measure it on the hourly. When the hour breaks out, we should be looking at, and I'm generous with the wick here, we should be looking at something heading up to 5,300. I think there you go. 5,000, yeah, 5,300. So you get your entry point in here, 3,000. Let's say you get your entry point at even 3.5, you know, and then this goes on a journey up to 5.3. That's a long journey. That's a long journey. It might take a week or two, but look at the position you're in on, and you just let it go. Okay, so now let's open up a new chart and start doing the channels chart. And again, I will post this to download it. And when you download it, remember, download it, then open up a new blank page, and then copy and paste it over, or even just look at it and do the measurements out yourself, so that you need to put in the lines yourself, so that you're mind mapping yourself. Because if you just copy it down and look at it, it's not the same as you actually physically, manually going through all the different channels and putting it out yourself. Your understanding of why things are where they are and what's the relevance of them is you need to understand that. So a very simple thing is that when you place a line, why? Why are you putting that line there? And then what's the relevance of it? And does it have multiple reasons of relevance? You know, is it a support line? Okay, is it a predictive line? Is it a trend line? Is it a support and a resistance line? Like the line can have multiple elements of importance. So what's its story is really what I'm saying to you. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the daily. So here we are in the daily. Okay, and I'm on Bybit, and it's giving me lots of history, so that's great. I'm just going to do a little flick, just checking my trades are okay. Okay, so I always like to start with the bottom. So the trend is always up, so I have a tendency to start with the ascending channel. You know, and then there's the vertical, the support and resistance, and then there's the descending channel. So that's like a crisscross, up, across, and then down. That's the way I do it first, and then I zone in and start to look at closer relationships between tips and price actions. So okay, if I try this here. $3.5. There we go. There's 3.5. I think that's a line. So it'll be interesting as well. That look, ETH loves to do this sort of sideways thing, up and up and up and up. So it guaranteed that this line is going to be relevant on the next pump up. Is you're going to get a pump up, and again, no doubt we're going to come back onto this line at some point. Okay, so you can see that one there. Okay. Now I can see this channel here as well. Look at this, because I'm just looking at the ascending this way. So I'm just looking at that, and you can see how that's maybe bringing this line. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's a beauty. You can be guaranteed that you're going to get a touch. It's going to come up and get a touch. It may get a retrace, and then we may need to break out of this at some point. Getting up, breaking above that. But you'd be guaranteed that there's going to be a touch here, a rejection at some point, and then up through it. Okay, for sure, I think that's going to happen. Now there's also this more. What I'm thinking of is this. What I'm thinking of is if I put that line there, and then be a little bit more. I'll use this one. I'll clone this one because it's already given me the angle, and then I bring it down like this. You can see there's that wick there. Like you can see now that look at this smaller channel, how much price action is in this. Okay. Move that up a little bit more. There. Bingo. That's it. Now I'll bring this up here. Okay. So again, you can see that there's a body of movement in that. Again, I think with the next pump, I'm not sure how. You can see it's very relevant here. I think with the next pump is this might come up here. It may come back down, and when we're on the way back down, coming down, sitting on this. This may end up being a bottom point. One first spike, like a second spike, you could get a third spike, something like that. Further up. I'm just making up a story, but you can see that it may come back in as relevant. Yeah. Okay, so there's the basic big ones there. So now let's just have a look at this support and resistance. Rather than putting in lots and lots of them, so let's just put in the ones that we can see are. I'll actually put these in as. Put in like that there. And look at this one here. I think we already have our destination. Let me blow it up here a little bit more. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. And yep, there we go. So again, you can see is resistance. Resistance didn't really support there. Again, is resistance, resistance, resistance. So again, this is a resistance line, and most likely, actually not most likely, this is the transition where this becomes a support line. This becomes a support line here. Now, because we're going to be breaking up, let's focus more on the lines above than the lines below. So there really aren't going to be that many. There's one there. And I know I could put another one here. I know I could put another one here. I'm just mindful that I don't want to put too many lines in. I'm trying to set core channels, and I find that you can put so many of these support and resistance lines in that they end up clogging. They clog the screen. They can get in the way. So oftentimes I'll only use those locally. When it's in the local area, I'll use them. I could put more of them in down here, but we're already past it here. Because unless price action starts coming back down here, I'm not going to put them in, or it just clogs up the whole screen. So even the three of those is, well, I know very soon these are going to be relevant. So let's leave them there for now. Yeah. Okay. So now that's the support and resistance, and very much these are resistance lines. Well, this is a support one as well. Look, there's support here. So no doubt, if this is a support line, we'll come back up and we'll get a bit of support there. It's been a resistance line here. Most likely this line will switch from being a resistance to a support line. So again, you're seeing the transition from these being predominantly resistance to support lines, setting up a new base for the next pump. So that's what you'll see them switch to. Okay. Now we're looking at this angle. Now, part of the challenge with that is I'm a bit late to the game in the sense of the angles that I'm going to put in now would have been relevant for all this, because we're now coming into the look. There's the bear channel. We're going to come into a bull channel. So look, here's the bull channel. Then we went bear. Then we went bull. Then we went bear. Now we're going back bull again. So some of these lines that I'm going to put in is I'm thinking of this. I'm thinking of that there. Look at that. Remember we talked about the top predicts the bottom. Look at that. Look at that. Let's give it a yellow. Okay. Look at that. And again, I know you're new getting into this, but look at that. Oh, look at that sweet one there. That's the guide, isn't it? We want to keep that touch as well. So look, resistance and support, so to speak. Support a little bit there, and then support here. And then look, nailing it here. Now, can we find one that would have given us this? So now I'm looking at here. There's a support. Okay. I came to here. Is there a clear line that gives us a touch point? Again, that's not really hitting the body. It's in the body rather than on top of the body or the wick. Here's a bit of resistance. Yeah, I don't like making it fit just for convenience. I would like that to be a lot cleaner, not just do it just because it looks good. So let's not do that. Unless it's absolutely undeniable, let's not do it, because our own bias can get in the way. Oh, well, it's nearly there. Well, if it's nearly there, well then maybe it's not. We'll do it this way. We want to see a clear line of touch points that are not nearly, but absolutely obvious. It just spells it out. So, because look at this one, touch. See the touch points here? This is a bit, but then see the support there? But this nails it. This is the one that nails it. Okay? So now that's really, we're looking for that detail that we can rely on. again, I can see there's touch points here. There's that touch point there. Again, not so happy about that. No, there we go. Look, see now there's the wicks and it's touching the bodies there. So I would suggest that's the line. That's the line that predicted that. Now, one of the things I'm always looking for is, again, look at this. Here's the top, but look at the support here. Here's the second, how would you call it? Here's the blow off top. So 3, 4, 5. So there's always the support here where you get a couple of wicks. Is they are an excellent start to a trend line. So again, is look the 3, 4, 5. So now it's relating the 3, the 4 together, the blow off tops. So it's the supporting final movement. The supporting final movement. Okay, so down here, and then the one from here is helping with that, the double bottom. So anytime you're looking for it, you know that the top from here up, somewhere along here, is going to predict the bottom. Okay. So here's this here. Now.
Hey, Roy, I got a quick question.
Yep.
Is this going to be a little bit different if you're looking at it like on different trading platforms? Meaning, for example, you're looking at the Bybit chart. I'm looking at Binance US.
Yes.
And so the touch points are a little bit different.
Yes, they are. They are. Okay. And again, if you think about Bybit will hold and have its customers that are using Ethereum, and so will Binance. So they're using it. It's not all the same. It's not a collective that they're giving you reference points from their trading exchange.
Yeah. So okay, got it. I just wanted to make sure. I'm kind of doing this along, and I'm like,
and you're looking,
touch points aren't matching, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't screwing something up.
No. So now the relevance of this is if you're spot trading on Binance, you need to have your spot trading chart. If you're leverage trading on Bybit, you need to have your Bybit leverage chart.
Yes. Yeah. So I understand.
That would be the bit. So yeah, because sometimes. Like, and we talked about this, I think, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, where is a target got hit on, I think a target got hit on Bybit, but didn't get hit on Binance. Binance was well short, so I had a trade on Bybit, and I had a spot on Binance, and my leverage hit, and I was like, oh, excellent, got it. And I was celebrating that my spot got hit in Binance, only to find out when I checked it didn't, because Binance didn't go to the same point. So yeah, so you got to be mindful of that, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Even the wicks are different.
Yeah. Between
the two, it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. It is, yeah, and sometimes frustrating. Okay, so now I'm a little bit late to the party in the sense of these yellow lines here. Well, this one is still relevant, but this one is past. Let's have a look at a couple of steeper lines, and because when we get this touch here, we're going to get movement up here. We're going to get a breakout up here, and it's going to kick off. So I'm going to now look at a steeper set of lines. So one of the lines I'm looking for, again, is that true line where the top predicts the bottom. The top predicts the bottom. Okay, well then the same should be the bottom predicts the top. So now I'm going to be looking for lines that I'll set, and potentially we're looking to see where they take us in the next bull channel. Okay. So one of the zones I'll be looking for is, because look at the blue lines here. Look how it's going, and it's incrementally it's getting wider. So you can be pretty sure that it's going to head up this way. So now I'm looking for, like, think about I'm looking for lines here that will support moving into this space. Is there a way I can help call the top where this bull goes up and this bull touches off this for the first time? Is there a line that's going to help me sort of guide me towards that? That's what I'm looking for, yeah? So again, I'm always, look, here's the bottom. And I love this, I love the expression, the bleeding obvious is not a mystery. We're not trying to solve a mystery. We're just looking for the bleeding obvious. Okay, so this is the bleeding obvious. Is look at this here, look at that there. So support, resistance. Look how many support lines, look how many resistance lines. Is it sort of waving a flag at us? Me, look at me. No doubt this is going to have some story here. And again, we know, look, Ethereum likes to do this slow crawl up. So this line for sure at some point is going to be a support and a resistance. So let me get a little bit tighter. Let me get it a little bit tighter. Let me change the color. Now, what color are we going to use? Let's use pink. I like pink. Okay. Okay, so now here's the. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that there's either way I'm going to have to cut through something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the bodies of this one down here. If I have to choose, I'll choose the bodies of this one. And then that'll give me the wicks, but the bodies of the other ones. And really what I'm looking for is just, if I can't get the wicks to match, I look to match enough of the bodies. And there's enough of the bodies. And I know you might think I'm being pedantic, but for a reason. I can't get the wicks. Get the tip of the wicks, but look, I'm getting some of the bodies there, yeah. And then there's the body, there's some wicks, there's some bodies. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So again, that's it. You can see that that's a true line. Simply because the solidity, the solidness of support, resistance is, at some point this is going to come in to your trading. Is coming up. Do you set along to it? Do you set a support to it? At some point up here, this may be a divergence line where this is what confirms the breakdown. So this is what confirms your short heading down for there. So this is going to be part of your trading story over the coming weeks. For sure it is.
Hey, Roy.
Yep.
Never mind. I saw that line you just deleted. What was the meaning of that line you just deleted?
Yeah. It was just a mental note for me. It was a mental note for me to go, I'm looking for, I'm not looking for lines that cover this space. I'm not looking for lines that cover that space. Too steep, too low. So here's the zone. I'm looking for lines that help me move into this zone, because price action is going to break up. It's going to move through this space. So it was just a mental note for me to help guide my eye a little bit.
Okay.
So
thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So now here's another. Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Okay, this is also setting up a channel. It's already looks like it's already established, well established. Okay. Now let me zoom out here. You see, look, I'm gonna move this for now. So just too much. So what I'm looking for is, look at this touch, and that touch. I suppose the blue line is already covering it there, but it seems like there is also an other angle to it. There's another angle to it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go there. Oh, look at this. Look. Pull this down here. Okay. And then the reason being, look at the support. Bit of both here. Resistance. Okay. So we are going to come into steeper price action. So now here's a thought for you. I'm going to clone this. I'm going to push this out to there. I'm half tempted to push it out to there. If I bring this back like this here. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Listen to me, getting excited here. Okay, so remember the bottom. The bottom does things. Okay, look at this. Look at this sweet little connection here. All the way back on the 26th of August 2020. Price action was $471. But now when we follow it up, this little resistance line here is nailing the top at the 12th of May 21, 4,147. Now the reason why I'm going to leave it like that is because I'm looking at this relationship between this one and that one. And it's quite possible that this, when we break out, dances onto this line, wants to get up here into this channel. And I think when we get into this channel, there'll be a bit of hokey pokey dancing around here. When it gets up, establish itself, and then we have boom, then we have that nice big, the nice big pump. And we really start to move away from the highs here. Is we want price action. Yeah, look at that. So when you look at it now, isn't it back to bleeding obvious? Look how obvious that is. So absolutely, price action is going to dance through all these lines to get itself up here. And this is the channel. This is the channel that it wants to move in. Okay, and just out of curiosity, if we took this, just out of pure curiosity, and we dropped it in here, look at that. Look at that. It's quite possible we could be bringing this up to here. Look at that. Look, already on that. That line was already there. Didn't even move it. Maybe here. Okay. And you know yourself, things like to go up. The fecker likes to come all the way back to the bottom, but not break it, but close enough. This is the drama we're going through here. We're going to have to relive it again here. Somewhere on this line, I think we'll be reliving it again, yeah? But we just got to have this first. Okay. This is super. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in. I'm going to nearly leave it there, yeah. But I'm going to bring in. I'm going to bring in the whatchamacallits, the, where are they? The fibs. The fibs, the fib fan, the fib speed resistance fan. Just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity with regards putting it at the bottoms and see where it takes us. So if we put it here, okay. We put it here. Oh, do you know what? I want to put back in that. There we go. If we put it here, and let's say we're calling, if we're calling this the top. Oh no, did we say we bring it up here? So something like this. Something like this. Okay. Wow. Okay. Now, let's just look at how it's playing out. Look at price action. Look at it dancing on this orange line. Look at that, dancing along this orange line, drops down along the green line, drops down right to the golden pocket there. Look at that, back up again, gets rejected, back down on the line, drops down to the golden pocket. Look at that again. And here we are. Here we are on the golden pocket, coming down to the golden pocket. Golden pocket hit, golden pocket hit. Look at how sweet that is. Look how clear that is. Okay, now this also helps us with, here's the line back up. We already have a pink line in. It's already there. We put it in already. Here's a green one. Here's this blue trend line. So I think what we're going to see is a pump run along this line, and a pump possibly run the green line up onto the blue line, onto the pink line. And again, look into this channel. This is where price action wants to get into this channel, establish a new ground in this channel, and then it can get its pump on. Pow. Okay. Very good. Well, that was nice and reaffirming, wasn't it? When you stick a fib on it and how much it matches. Okay. So now we can do a local one. We can do a local one. Okay. So let's do it from here first. This is already set. Again, remember, I've put a fib on this. I've put a fib on this. Now I've brought it up a little higher because again I've looked at the channel and said, okay, I'm going to work on this channel. I'm going to bring it up to there. I did say it could go higher. So I think that extra bit that could go higher is this channel. This channel that was started by this little lift here. Who knew? Who knew the relevance of this little lift? It's predicting tops. And if it can predict one top, why can't it predict another? Popo! Okay. I'm amusing myself here. Okay, so just out of curiosity, you can see lots of that green line here. The 05 is the line that this is moving along. And divergence, it broke. Now it's traveling down. It's broken the local golden pocket here. It's broken the blue line here, so it's dropping out of this fib. Isn't it? Yeah, it's dropping out of this fib. Okay. So again, if you're thinking that this looks like a lot and it's confusing, it is for me as well. There's too many lines here. Trying to read into it too much is too much. But what I will do is, as price action moves on, I will use this as a point to just look at the local. Let's say price action is up here and it's moving up. I will look at these local lines here as forms of support and resistance, as part of the stairway up or the stairway down. So I will definitely be coming back and using this point with this fib. And equally, when this one comes down and hits its target, wherever that is, let's say 3, 4 or so, I'll be doing the same thing. And again, this fib works. This fib works when you've got a really good central line. Because look how it works. See, that's the center line. Here, the bottom and the top. So when you know you have a really good center line, that's when these fibs really start to make sense. Is if the center line is out, well then it won't make sense. When you're looking at price action relating to it, it just won't make as much sense. The touch points on the lines won't be as clear. It won't look as well. You know, it won't match. But when you get a clear match from the bottom to the top, or the top to the bottom, is now you start to see how these fibs and price action, it's like musical instruments. It's like keep notes on a music chart. They just dance along it. Okay. I think that's enough for now. We don't overload it. And one of the things I would do is that I would do this is I would now leave it alone, so to speak, and I will come back and I'll look at it every day. And I will summarize it every day. I'll go back over it in my mind. I'll talk myself through it tomorrow and the next day and the next day. I'll talk my way through it because it's helping me with my mind mapping of it and mapping out the important points. And then is there anything else that I can add to it? Are there nuances in it that I missed? You don't have to get it all at once. And then even when price action moves on a bit more, it is gonna develop the story. Like you can see one already here. Is this here? See this here? From the bottom here. And then look at these touch points. So I promise you, at some point, maybe we take it there. Let's just even do it there. At some point, on the way up, it might not be that relevant. Sorry, it's an alarm on my phone. On the way up, it might not be that relevant, but when it hits and it starts to come down, is again, this will be a line that will, at some point, will be used. Could be like third or second spike comes and lands on this, and you have mid-range high working along this line, and then you get the spill down to third drop. I could nearly see it happening, but that's months away. We could be talking March, April next year before that really kicks in. Okay, so there you go. Has anybody any questions? No questions?
Nothing. Yeah, this is super fascinating.
Isn't it? It is absolutely fascinating. And this is the channel. This is where price action wants to get to. So it's got to get up into this one, do it, dance along the way. But when it gets up into this one, now you know that you're really, once it establishes itself in this, expect a massive pump. So you'd be looking at, I'd be looking at getting a trade in here. Is get it when it comes in. Don't put the trade in when it comes in, because it will want to come back down and retest it and establish itself. Might even do a little bit of dancey, hokey pokey along it. But at some point, I'll be looking to put a trade in here and bring my stop loss down below this line or something, or my liquidation. Bring it right down, and then just let it do its thing, because you know it's gonna want to take off. Okay. But there's all the stuff that's going to go on in here as well. I just see that this is going to be a big move when it happens. Okay. Okay, so I'll post this now, and I'll edit the video. So I'll post this now with the link, and then when I edit the video and post that, which I will do tomorrow, I will post the video as well, and then I'll link this page that you can download, and also the video that I just did now, and you can rewatch the video, have this in front of you, and then open up a blank page and go through it all yourself. And then do what I said, is that every day go in, retest it, talk your way through it, get it in your head. Why? Because this is what you're going to, these lines are the next 6 months of your trading life. This is part of it. And then as we go in closer into the, that's what we do next time, is we'll go in closer and we'll start looking at the 4 hour and start looking for a bit more nuanced. Where's the nuance? More nuances going on here. I won't do it now, and the reason being, I'm thinking of bite-sized chunks. Is if you're an ETH trader, jump on this straight away. Get this established in yourself over the next week. And then when we review it next week, I'll go in and I'll layer in a little bit more of the more 4 hour and 1 hour stuff. Okay, and by then we'll have our bottom, and then we'll have our movement going back up, and we can start to get in and get a bit more detail. It probably won't be a week; it'll be sooner than that. Let's get this bottom in. Let it do a little bit of movement here, and then let's start to map out the local space. This local space. So our next conversation is mapping out this local space. But between now and then, if you're an ETH trader, is get this solid, yeah? Get this solid. Okay. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your evening. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. All right.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Roy. Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Roy.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.